My people, it's your girl, Dr. She Cole, with the newly branded Curated Coils and Culture. Now, I've been on a little bit of a hiatus for the past several weeks because I have been in the midst of a professional job transition. And since I don't have my regular crew here with me on a Monday, it's currently President's Day. I'm going to take off these glasses because the ring light was really doing something extra that none of us need right now. But I say all that to say, welcome back to another episode on my channel. Again, I am going through the process of rebranding. And if you noticed in my title, I have renamed this channel Curated Coils and Culture because I believe that the things that we love in life should be curated and handled with care. I do want to always highlight and celebrate 4C natural hair content. So as you can see, I am a 4C coily girl. The coils are abounding. So I want to celebrate that and bringing all kinds of attention to the Crown Act and representation of 4C in a media space. Additionally, making sure that we are highlighting the positive side of culture, specifically culture that of course is universal, but also Black culture. I would like to contribute to this space what I have done in my career for 21 years, educate. I am an educator. I am a second generation educator. Both of my parents retired from the field of education, and I am carrying the torch in my life and in my work. And I'm so pleased that I have the opportunity to be a director now in this work. So I've had the pleasure of being a classroom teacher, a department head of language arts and social studies. I have been a teacher on site, assisting others. They call it teacher on assignment when you're a lead teacher of content and other administrative duties. That transitioned to a instructional facilitator of schools that were struggling with reading and writing throughout the district that I work in. And that transitioned me to the world of administration as an assistant principal, a principal, and now a new director. So I am very excited and thankful that God has allowed me the opportunity to work with children and expand the equity and access net for all students, all races, creeds, all genders, and irrespective of how you present to the world, that you have the right to a free and equitable education if you are in the public school system. So I'm very proud of that work, and I'm so proud that it's a legacy thing. So with that being said, the newly branded channel dealing with curated coils and culture, which is really what I was doing before, but I want to be more intentional with my approach to the topics we talk about coming up. So there is someone behind me that I want to highlight, and you can see the picture, and I have different pieces of art in my house. And I usually give a little backdrop on the pictures in my videos, so today will be no different. So behind me today, you will see a picture of Jean-Michel Basquiat, an American artist who rose to success in the 1980s, but unfortunately he died in 1988. This Brooklyn-born artist has a movie, one of few, called The Radiant Child, and his style of art is graffiti street art. And one of the things that allowed him, along with his talent, of course, to rise to a certain level of fame within this particular culture was a work that Andy Warhol painted of him in 1982. And this particular piece of art was, and I'm getting it, hold on, I don't want to get it confused, but Andy Warhol definitely painted a picture of Jean-Michel Basquiat in 1982. And this is what really allowed him to get a lot of buzz within the art community And the name of that piece, which I'm trying to look at because I did write it down. I was going so well. You know what I'm saying? Did you see the smoothness that I was working with right there? But never you mind, no one's perfect. But the fact remains, Basquiat did have a famous painting, many famous paintings. And one of his works, Irony of a Negro Politician, sold for $12.6 million. His work can be featured in New York museums and museums around the world, such as Switzerland. And his particular genre that came from street art and graffiti is now known as the Neo-Expressionist movement. And of course, in his collaboration with Andy Warhol, who painted him in 1982, that particular piece of Jean-Michel Basquiat is considered to be under pop art. And a lot of the art that Andy Warhol and Basquiat completed before their deaths, very, very avant-garde, very out there, very intentional, always with a message. And that's something that I love and would like to celebrate. So clearly, on an educator's budget, this is nowhere near 12.6 million, but it is a replica that I liked and wanted to get in my house. So I'm very excited about that. So as it relates to the community poll, I wanted to get a pulse on what the 634 subscribers that I have. Thank you so much for supporting me and collaborating with me as I embark upon furthering my YouTube journey and experience. Thank you to the 634 subscribers that I have. I hope you continue to keep rocking with me as I expand the palette of my content, because again, I only want to be who I am truly, and educating and talking about culture and my experiences is really what I want to do. But what I've discovered throughout the course of how our lives have been altered in the last 2 years, I have some things that I have thought about that I haven't thought about in years, and it's tied to fragrance. And as I've been exploring this world of fragrance, I've had so many memories of my father, because he was a curator of fine fragrances and suits and shoes and things of that nature. Just, he was a Brooks Brothers man. He always ordered his shoes from the right company, which were custom developed, made shoes. Just a classy, classy guy. And I didn't realize I had already experienced, as a young girl and a teenager, about 40 or 50 fragrances that I've either purchased for him or myself with my allowance at that time. But when I was looking through different perfume catalogs and just seeing what my nose has already experienced, it just led me into the world of niche fragrances. And I noticed that every time I traveled, whether it was to Italy or to Paris or Mexico, any country that I have traveled to, I always bring back a fragrance, because I always wanted to have something different and unique that no one else had, because I like to be special and stand out. And that's something that I lost sight of over the past couple of years, and I'm getting back into it, and boy, a fire has been ignited in me as a result. So, based on the community poll, you all voted that my next video should be on perfumes and niche hair care brands. So I love niche perfumes and I love a niche hair care brand, because although being able to get things directly off the shelf immediately at our local Target, Walmart, Walgreens, etc., anything that is easily accessible on ground or a quick order is great. But I really have an appreciation for something that has been created with such care and intention that sometimes you have to wait a little bit to get it. But when you do, you don't regret it. So stay tuned for the next portion of this video when we start to discuss niche perfumes and niche hair care brands. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So as we proceed, yes, indeed, with this video, I wanted to talk about a niche hair care line that I've mentioned several times in past videos. And the name of this company is none other than EcoSlay. Now, the famous Jello shot, which has gone through a few transitions by way of packaging. This is the environmentally friendly pouch that must be refrigerated of the EcoSlay Jello shot for trim of the rebellious curls, curl definer. And I've shown that several times, so you should have gotten a good look at it. But what I like about this company, Adria Marshall, the CEO, is a woman of integrity. This individual, in her mission statements, and if you go to her website, and she talks about the vision of the company and how things basically were birthed from her experience of being a natural for 16 years and going through the process of trying to get the holy grail, if you will, product line or ingredients from a line that work with your hair type. How difficult that was. And again, as we well know it, for the product junkies out there, it's expensive maintaining and keeping your natural hair in a state that is what you want it to be, right? So although you can do things at a moderate price, you know the saying, you get what you pay for. And with EcoSlay as a line that's environmentally conscious, and within the disclaimer, when you order, that the batches are made every 2 weeks before they are shipped, so you know they have not been sitting on a shelf for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 months, and you get a package full of curdled, stale product. And sometimes things can be going bad and you don't even know it, and you put it in your hair and then you wind up having a reaction. What I can appreciate about this particular entrepreneur, CEO, woman of faith, is that kindness, not only to other people, but to the environment, is very important to her. And that's what makes her a niche brand. And the fact that everything is created with care, and her team is so warm. And I have to give them a shout out, because when I was a principal, during the course of the state of the world changing and we were online and teaching our children virtually, she sat with, via Zoom, of course, with my students and taught them about entrepreneurship, starting your own business. If you had an interest in natural hair, what are the things that she did? And she encouraged them to do the same. Some of my students wanted to have their own sneaker line and clothing lines and things of that nature. But to have a CEO take time out of their schedule to talk with middle school students and then walk them through in real time, vlogging with them through the whole enterprise where they create the EcoSlay magic and products, was just nothing short of amazing. So this is definitely a niche product and a niche hair care line, EcoSlay. Now, please remember, you get what you pay for. So yes, some of the things may be a little bit more pricey, but it's so worth every single coin. I've never had an issue with flaking or any challenges when I use Jello shot. I have not had one problem, not one problem, when I have used this particular product. The definition, the sealing in of moisture and the hair not being dried out, the quality of the products being consistent, so it's not like one batch worked one way, another batch worked another way. No, consistency across the board. Yes, you have to refrigerate this along with many of her other, or a few of her other products, but I believe it's worth it. If it can just sit on the shelf for days and months and years without an expiration date, do we really want that on our skin and on our hair? And we are living, breathing cells that want to have a preservation of life. I don't want it on mine. So again, niche hair care product that I celebrate and stand by, not only from a performance standpoint, but from a personal standpoint as it relates to the creator and founder of the company, Adria Marshall, CEO of EcoSlay. We salute you. Thank you for celebrating and encouraging my students, former students, on their young journey to create generational wealth, and taking the time out of your schedule because you didn't have to do it. Now, going on to the next nugget, niche perfumes. I'm so excited for this. Stay tuned while I get my props. Okay, I'm back. People, this is going to be a good one. Niche is the name of the game. I'm so intentional right now with everything that I'm doing in my life, even down to my fragrances. I want everything to have a purpose, meaning, and I want it to be statement worthy. And this particular brand, I really have a fondness for, because when I heard each perfumer that reviews perfumes on YouTube, actually the fragrance house, those are the true perfumers, but the individuals who are connoisseurs of perfume, I had an appreciation for their interpretation and their experience with the fragrance as it relates to this fragrance house. I want to give respect to individuals who are in the art and craft of creating perfumes. So with all that being said, I was so impressed with all of the reviews that I had to be a part of the discussion so I could know what's going on. Being on the forefront of things and being innovative is a part of my wheelhouse, even within my profession. So why not translate that to the personal, right? So as a result, the word that I kept hearing, Tiziana Terenzi, Tiziana Terenzi, Tiziana Terenzi, it was just like a symphony in relationship to the perfume world and fragrances. And I said, I must be a part of this movement, right? So because I am bold, I am a gourmand girl. I love gourmand fragrances, although some gourmands may play close to the skin and some may project and have a sillage trail for miles. I need to have rich notes that are not common to the average nose, and I want it to be distinctive in its flavoring and composition. I'm very passionate about that. When I studied opera, when I have put myself into anything that I've been involved with, especially with the arts, it's just such a deliberate practice that the perfume, when you pull together a look, an ensemble, when you're making a statement because you want your personal brand to mean something and be consistent in the world and how you present, the perfect fragrance completes the whole experience, right? So with that being said, I want to talk about none other than Spirito Fiorentino by Tiziana Terenzi. So I have my notes here, and I love this story. So I'm going to read a little excerpt from it because that is the teacher in me. A magical September night, Paolo and Tiziana are in Florence with the whole family, including their grandparents, to discover this enhancing renaissance. I said enhancing, and it's enchanting. Let me put on my glasses and stop playing. Okay. I'm going to look down so the ring light is not distracting. Okay, there we go. So this enchanting Renaissance city, all at once in a cobalt blue sky, illuminated by shining stars, an immense red moon arises, recoloring the sky with its fiery pallor. All of a sudden, the two children were inebriated. Such word choice. I love that. I'm a language arts teacher, so you know I love this. The two children are inebriated by the unforgettable perfume of the spirit of Florence, Spirito Fiorentino. Honey, and did they or did they not capture it? I'm going to show you this piece of artwork from the packaging external, and this is an extrait de parfum. So please know, it is not an eau de toilette. Are you ready? I can smell it when I took it out of the box. It's heavy, number one. You're getting what you pay for. And this is how you know this fragrance house is serious. For those who travel and you know extra weight, you take this top off. Oops. And then you can travel with less weight, okay? Let's look at this cap. Dealing with solar, which would then be reminiscent of the story with the red sky. And I just can't say enough about this fragrance. And forgive me, because traditionally I do have some of my team members here to help me when I'm filming, but I was so excited about this. I could not wait to film. Let me take off my glasses because I need you to see me. This fragrance stops time. It truly, on impact, stops time and makes you take note. Those notes, and I'm going to go back. The notes in this fragrance are so well blended. And that leather, it's almost like, when I was in Italy, this is what I loved about Italy and the Italian men. Moment of transparency. It is what it is. I love the fact, I love the longer hair, the longer curly hair. A little salt and pepper never hurt anybody. The linen button-down shirts with a nice trouser pant. It may be a crushed linen and an understated Gucci loafer, a Kohan something. That's what this reminds me of. Because there's a simple elegance to the country. There's a simple elegance to Italy that I love. Being able to get exquisite cuisine, but it's very much in a cafe style ambiance, if you would like. Outside, bottle of wine, some amazing pizza, or a perfectly al dente Italian dish at a fine restaurant. Just the cities that I went through when I saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and I think it was the Tivoli Fountain, and going to this Sistine Chapel. Fantastic experience. That's what it brings me back to. It's not minimalist, but the elegance is so well done that there's an understatement of class and elegance and wealth, not from a material standpoint, but from a historical, cultural standpoint. That's what I get from Spirito Fiorentino Tiziana Terenzi. So, with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this particular video today. Again, I am going to be branching deeply into niche hair care brands that celebrate 4C, coily, curly girls and boys. And I am going to continue my exploration with niche perfume houses because I believe in doing everything with intention. So, as I wrap up with my word of encouragement and wisdom for those who watch, remember all of the dreams, gifts, and talents that you have, the skill set and the ability to bring them into fruition lies within you already. You just have to tap into it to get the manifestation of your dreams. People, my people, it's Dr. She Cole bringing you my new and improved channel, and I hope to see you again real soon. I'll have updates on when I will be recording and dropping videos on a regular basis. I am looking to do something on Mondays and Wednesdays in the next upcoming weeks, but I am in the process of doing a little something in the backdrop. So I would like to bring it all together, but if it doesn't work time-wise the way I want, I will bring you another video based on the community poll that you completed for me. So thank you so much. If you have watched to the end of this video and you like my content, please click like, click share, subscribe, and I hope to see you again real soon. Have a great one.